This video is all about public speaking. I think we all have a little bit of nerves when it comes to speaking in front of a large crowd of people, or even if it's just in your class or like in a job situation. It's always good to just know how to deliver a cool and good presentation without the nerves. Oh, that's the worst thing. How can you control it? Well, in this video, I'm gonna tell you exactly that. When it comes to the fear of public speaking or fears in general, it's all about exposing yourself for the situation, okay? Because then you know when you do it a lot of times that it's safe. Because everything that you are avoiding, that you are putting so much of your focus on, is just gonna grow and grow and grow and become this big thing that you're just gonna go and think of as kind of this monster in the back of your mind, like just being really scary. So you're gonna avoid it because your brain thinks it is something really dangerous that might kill you. Even though the worst thing that could happen when you're holding a presentation is that you forget what you're saying or you say something wrong. Like, that's the only thing that could happen. You're not going to die, but your brain doesn't know that, okay? So the best thing you can do to start getting over that fear is to putting yourself into a situation where you speak in front of people and you try to get more comfortable with that. Because when you do things multiple times, when it's more known territory, it feels more safe, and you're also going to be able to stand there and seem more confident. Because self-confidence has a lot to do with how we're going to deliver, okay? And I also have a whole video about how you can actually get a better self-confidence and work on that. You can just watch that after this video if you want to. It gives a lot of knowledge about it, but basically you can be confident in one area and you can be really insecure in another area, because it's all about if you feel like you are mastering something. So when you are putting yourself in a situation, you're speaking and it's really uncomfortable, but you are doing it either way, you're growing your comfort zone and it's going to feel better, and you're going to feel like, yes, I'm pushing myself, I'm getting better, because you are going to get better when you do it more and more times. So your self-confidence in that era is going to grow. So that is when it comes to fear, because that is the biggest blocker of it all. And it's probably something that's also going to like keep you from not doing it, and when you're not doing it, you're not going to be able to get better, you know. So that's number one, to try to get over the fear of standing there and talking to people. So how do you actually deliver when you're standing there and you're talking and you just want to give a killer presentation? You want people to sit there and like, wow, that girl can talk, that girl can present, she knows what she's doing. And there's multiple things you can do while standing there. And the one thing I do when I'm gonna go up and talk, when I'm gonna go up and speak, and we always get a little bit like nerves, like even me who's done it a lot of times, I get a little bit nervous before. But the most important thing then is just to take control of your breath. You need to slow it down, okay? Because it's so easy when we get stressed or really like, okay, you need to just nail this. You get really stressed, and then your breath gets super short. You get like, because it's your body's natural response to this, okay? But what you need to do is just take control of that and try to just slow it down. Because when you slow your breath down, you're going to signalize to your brain that you are safe. Because this is kind of like an evil spiral. When you get stressed, you get short breath, and the short breath is also signalizing to the brain that something scary is going on, and you get even more nervous, right? But if you can slow it down, just breathe in for 4 seconds and breathe out for 6 seconds. This perfect combination of seconds often helps me in situation. Like, I've tried different other ones, like holding your breath and just like keeping it out, but that doesn't really work for me. But if you can just slow it down to 4 seconds in and 6 seconds out, because then you get more and more calmer and you just feel more comfortable when you're gonna stand there and talk. Because one thing that's gonna ruin your killer presentation is also if you start talking really fast, because then people won't really hear or have the time to reflect over what you're saying. They're just gonna see someone who is trying to get done with their presentation as fast as possible and just talk in as many words as possible per minute. Okay, so you just need to slow it down, because then you also seem a lot more confident when you're standing there, because you are standing there just taking your time speaking, taking up space and time. You feel that you are worthy of their time and that they should listen to you. You are taking your time. So number one, exposing yourself for the situation. Number two, taking control of your breath and slowing down your talking when you're standing there. Another thing that is really good is also to use your hands while talking. I do this a lot because number one, it's going to be much easier to get your points to the other person. You're really just showing, and it's going to be more entertaining to watch when you're talking with your hands. But another thing is that often when we go up to hold the presentation, we get all this adrenaline, and that is often what leads to, the shaking, or you not being able to control your voice. Like if it's a little bit shaking and you're just shaking, like we all hate that, because then we are like revealing to everyone that we are nervous, even though we might even not be that nervous. We just got so much adrenaline because we want to really nail this presentation. So one thing, like when you talk with your hands while standing there, you're kind of getting a little bit rid of that extra energy. And if you also can like start to walk a little bit like back and forth, just like really take in the room, talk with your hands, you're going to get rid of that extra adrenaline, and you're not gonna get that shake, which is not fun. We have all gotten the shake, but if you can just move a little bit, it's going to help with that. And if it's possible, it's also really smart to maybe do some jumping, do a little bit like push-ups, or just like shaking a lot before going on stage or before going in front of your class or in a job meeting or anything, just like to really get out of your system before, and then also combining it with talking with your hand. It's really going to help with that. And I don't know about you, but I got a little bit anxious about that before, like really like, oh no, don't shake, don't shake, don't shake. And then you start to kind of focus on not shaking and not what you're saying. And that can kind of throw you off a little bit. So you really should try to just use the space and get rid of that extra adrenaline. And also another thing, when you're standing there, you're talking, you're taking up space, is also to really learn to emphasize different words when you're talking, so you don't have this monotone voice. If you're kind of trying to make a point of something that's really important, say it's important. You really just emphasize that word so people see, whoa, we should pay attention. Because having a presentation, it's really all about storytelling, and you need to also show that with emotions through your presentations. That's how you give it life, and also show that people should pay attention, they don't fall asleep, because we have all been there, listened to other people talk, or just if it's a teacher or whatever, just speaking in the same tone. I have fallen asleep many times in class because of this. But if you can make it a little bit more exciting in the way you speak, if you can come up with examples in your presentation which is a little bit different, and you will also show people that you understand this and you care. You really care that people understand it too. That is the purpose. That is what's gonna make presentations and standing there fun. If you can make people enjoy it too. And suddenly they're like looking forward to your presentation because they know you're good. And when you have gotten that reputation of holding good presentations, people are going to expect that from you. And when you know that people expect you to hold good presentations, you're gonna get more confidence. So it's gonna be easier the next time when you go up and deliver again, because that is what people expect from you. Then why shouldn't you deliver? Another thing I would also work on while standing standing up there is to really look at everyone. And I'm not saying like to stare like everyone deeply into like their eyes so they feel uncomfortable or awkward. No, not like that. You are just like letting your gaze move freely from this side of the room to this side of the room. You're not really connecting with one person, you're just letting your eyes slide. And when you are in this zone, when you are looking at no one's particular, but you're looking at everyone, that's when you are in this flow state and you just know what to say. The words, they just come to you and you don't really get thrown off by people staring at you. You just let your look wander. And if you also think that is a little bit uncomfortable, another trick is also then to just raise your gaze above like your audience and just look there. Then you don't look at anyone and you don't get thrown off from what you're saying. You're just like looking up there and people see that you are lifted, you look up, you don't like look down at whatever you're saying, because that is also a thing. You need to learn what you're saying, okay? Because if you have a script, it's going to be so easy for you to get thrown off your script. If you say something that isn't necessary in the script, you're gonna be like, oh no, what was the next word? That was wrong. And that is the easiest way to get like this blank mind where you freak out and you don't know what to say and you don't remember anything. The smartest thing you can do is to have more keywords and know what you're talking about so well that you can talk around that keyword while standing there and talking, because then you also show that you really know this. You're not just reading something that ChatGPT wrote for you, okay? You know this shit. And the best thing is really if you don't have anything with you when you go up. If you just have a presentation and it's like small keywords there and they're not there for you to remember what to say because you already know what to say. It's just there to have some structure so you know when to say what, not what to say, because you know what to say. That is also what creates that confidence when you're standing up there, because you need to know your material. You need to want to educate people. You need to want that to be able to sit there and just deliver a killer presentation. So I am really looking forward to hear how it's gonna go for you when you're holding this presentation. Please let me know in the comment section if any of my tips helped you with any anxiety or any fears you had for having a presentation, or if you feel inspired for the next time you're gonna hold one, or if this has helped you to get the courage to actually go up and try it for yourself and just expose yourself for that, because it's so good to just be meeting our fears. That's how we grow, that's how we glow, and that's how we become the best version of ourselves. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. That is how other people is going to find this video too. So that would be great. And if you're still watching this video and you have not subscribed, like, what are you doing? You are obviously loving this content, so just subscribe, okay? And if you like this video, I also know that you are gonna love this video right here. So I'll see you there.